fellow gamers. Welcome back to another episode of the How Long to Beat podcast, a podcast made by members of the community for members of the community. My name is Matt, and I'm with my co-hosts Leah
Hello.
and Roy.
Not doing much these 2 weeks. It's Frozen Roy.
And not with us today is Diallo again, has better things to do.
He's actually doing stuff. Shocking.
We are going to talk, as usual, about the games that we've beaten, retired, and are still playing. Before we move on into our 2-hour discussion topic this time, which is going to be Flash games as a whole, our touching points with Flash games, and what we thought about the demise of it all, and where it stands in our life today, if at all. And then, of course, we're going to end it all with another round of the Untitled Collection game. But for now, I would transition into the category of the games we've beaten. And I'm looking at our document here, and it looks like I'm the only one that has beaten something. So I guess I'll just keep rattling on with my stuff.
I guess I need to find time to play an itch game or something, or a Flash game. Or
it is actually funny because. So, spoiler alert, dear viewers, dear listeners. It seems like all three of us have not really been doing that much gaming in the last 2 weeks since the last episode. And honestly, I was also kind of like not expecting to have anything to talk about here in this beaten category. But all the games that I'm going to be talking about here, I literally beat either today or yesterday because I was just at the edge of the end of these games, and I also didn't really game the days beforehand. So these were all like clutch last minute completions for this episode exclusively, I guess.
That's hilarious because most of mine were from yesterday too.
Yeah.
Most of my played ones, I've been playing one a lot, but the others not so much. For me, it's been busy in real life, Super Bowl, and my birthday. Any reasons for you guys that you want to share even? Or just not slow 2 weeks?
Olympics and Super Bowl, yeah.
Or the Super Bowl as well. I didn't even think about that. For me, it's literally just that I have used most of my free time lately to get back into video editing for my dad YouTube channel, and that's taken up all my time, pretty much.
It does seem like you really need to pee with these upcoming games, though.
Yeah, a lot of peeing coming up. But first, I'm gonna talk about the non-feral, the non-disgusting games or whatever. Because 2 games I've mentioned already in previous episodes that I've finished now. One being Birds Organized Neatly. Again, a very, very straightforward puzzle game where you fit shapes into a grid and you're done. Like a genuine, like true puzzle game. And there's not much to tell here either. Anyway, just the fact that I have cleared all 80 levels. In the last third or so, there were a couple that had me genuinely scratch my head in frustration a couple times, but I did persevere and I did cram those birds into the grids. And it's a good game if that's just what you're looking for. Again, a perfect podcast game. You might pop this in while you're listening to this right now. There's a little suggestion for you, listener. But that's that, and I'm done, and it's uninstalled. Another game that I've finished and mentioned in a recent episode that is gonna have a much more staying power in my mind is Skate Story, which I have in our previous episode titled my game of the year for 2025. At that point, before I actually finished the game, now having actually seen the credits roll, that decision has totally, just concretified. Is that a word? It just had made it more firm, that opinion. Skate Story is, I've raved about this, I think, plenty enough in previous episodes, but it's truly like one of those artists game where one person has a very unique and specific vision and executes that without any compromises, and miraculously it actually genuinely works as an entertaining and interesting piece of media. Again, innovating the subgenre of skating games in ways that I have never seen before, as well as just giving you a genuinely poetic and to degrees philosophical, like dreamlike narrative experience that is kind of unique from my experiences. It's just, a lot of things clashing very well into each other that you don't really like see much, and I love that sort of shit. Skate story, freaking rules, like high recommendation for the rest of my life. Uh, it's dope as heck. Then we're going to the games that I've never talked about before, and honestly, like fittingly for the discussion topic later on, which is gonna be Flash games. The remaining games that I have beaten here all have some sort of connection to Flash games. So I might be a bit brief about them to leave more interesting things for the discussion later. But for one, there's this game called Deep Sleep Trilogy that I purchased on Steam, which is a re-release of what was 3 individual Flash games that you can, I think, still play for free in your browser on several websites. It's one of those cases where the Flash game existed beforehand, and later on the developer decided to, hey, let's put a price tag on it. Let's actually sell it as a retail release. And from all I know, this didn't even actually change anything from the original Flash games. It didn't like remake it or like expand it or whatever. It's genuinely just the original Flash games repackaged for, a proper release. And that's fine because the games themselves are good. They don't really need any tweaking. These are point and click horror puzzle games, all about dreams. You're stuck in dreams that you're trying to escape from, and there are creepy shadow people trying to chase you. The whole dreamlike setting serves the purpose very well of presenting you with situations that you don't expect. Um, but without falling into like some moon logic bullshit, which I found very surprising because the moon logic is a prominent problem with point and click puzzle games, point and click adventure games where things just
Yeah.
kind of like the solutions to puzzles are just like nonsense unless you are coming at them with a very weird, unintuitive point of view or something like that. And this setting of being stuck in a nightmare or a dream would kind of like really serve that well. But no, the developer did not fall into that trap and actually genuinely just created a world with intuitively solvable puzzles, none of which I found were actually very difficult, and telling a interesting story with that, with a good atmosphere. It has a very grimy, crusty, pixelated aesthetic, a visual aesthetic which I really enjoy. I have actually played one of the 3 games over a decade ago. That's why I even knew this existed. I didn't really remember much though. So playing through entire trilogy, which I was able to do in like 45 minutes or whatever, it's not a long experience, was actually really cool. And yeah, putting a price tag on these Flash games, I think, is fair. Although, again, you could still just go Google them and play them in a browser. They are up somewhere. And again, they're not any way changed from the paid version. So, whatever, do what you want. It is a recommendation, though, from me if you're into these kinds of games. And then after that, I have a bunch of small Flash games. Of course, in preparation for today's discussion topic, I was feeling the urge to actually do some Flash gaming. Um, and I ended up spending a night like it's 2008 on Newgrounds and scrounged up a couple games that sounded interesting to me more than I expected because I really fell down a rabbit hole that did, you know, grabbed me wholesale, and I very much enjoyed that. But I did start my journey on Newgrounds with looking up something very classic, because a staple of the Newgrounds Flash environment used to be back in the day to have a stupid little game where you kill some sort of pop culture personality of the moment that has just always existed. There's Flash games to kill US presidents or like pop stars like Justin Bieber and whatnot. It's just like one of those stupid ass staples of early internet. And like going to Newgrounds, I was kind of interested if that still is a thing. And lo and behold, they still make them. I played a thing called Murder Taylor Swift. So that's where we are at today. Or I guess this game was a couple years old. So maybe not quite the up to date thing for
I
this.
wonder if it was when Taylor Swift was appearing all over the NFL. She's dating Travis Kelce.
Right? Yeah, was that causing drama in some way. I'm completely out of the loop, but I heard
There
something
were
about
definitely
that.
some manly men who were all upset about it.
I mean, clearly this game didn't do very well. She's still around.
Oh, true. Or maybe she's just far more badass than we ever realized. Secret agent. Secret
Oh,
Agent
yeah.
Swift.
Murder Taylor Swift, however, a Flash game made by a user called C-Power3. Gotta credit them. Is very much like a shoddy, clunky Flash game as you would expect. Very much in the style of like early internet Flash trash, where you with crudely animated graphics first, I think, punch Taylor Swift and then go around in a like arcade beat 'em up style, like fighting yourself through the crowd, but like you the controls are all garbage. You move at a snail's pace. There's no like proper, hit detection and whatever. It's just a complete mess. So I guess it was a good representation for this subgenre of Flash games. I guess these things are still being made, like nothing ever changed, which is interesting. But as a game, obviously, and I guess unexpectedly, not great. But I beat it. Moving on from that, I stumbled over another like sort of staple or something that feels very much Newgrounds to me, because that was a place where a lot of youths were kind of creating their like fantasy media or whatever. The next game that I played is a thing called School Escapist, and it is a point and click adventure game where you escape school, where you like run out of class and get out of there. Very much falls in line with the crowd I imagine for Newgrounds, especially back in the day. I think this was also a previous release, just a couple years ago, made by a user called the Real Log. And I mean, it was definitely more solid than Murder Taylor Swift. This one had a more interesting gameplay progression, I guess, even though while it was a point and click adventure game, there were no real puzzles to solve. It was all extremely basic and straightforward. Really nothing, like it's not a game that I would like go out of my way to tell people about.
Well, unfortunately for you, on the How On to Pete podcast, that's exactly what
Yeah.
you're doing.
It like these two games just felt like good re-entrances into the depths of Newgrounds, because they both kind of like represent something that I like really that connects Newgrounds with my experiences from back in the day or whatever. But yeah, as a game itself, neither of these two are like very great. The rest here now, though, there's a lot of bangers here that I wanna actually recommend.
I'm not
This is a
surprised
bit of
this
a
is where we get to the bangers.
well, we're not getting into the pee pee poo poo filth stuff yet, but I did figure out that Newgrounds, and I guess we're gonna be talking about this a bit more later on a discussion topic, but Newgrounds is still hosting like Flash game jams, annual Flash game jams, encouraging people to make fresh new Flash games, even with a prize pool attached and whatever. It's pretty dope.
That is dope.
There's literally one going on right now, and we did not plan this with the release of this episode or whatever, but it's literally happening right now, I figured out. But I went and looked at like the lists and winners of like last year. And the winner for last year is a thing called Chess Force, which is it's in a similar vein as like a Gar type, which we talked about recently, that itch.io game that takes Garfield Cosmic Horror and puts it in a space shooter shmup environment. This one is a shmup that takes the subject of like competitive chess playing. So all the spaceships that you shoot are like chess pieces. Your power ups are based on chess pieces that you can unlock with a like sort of like skill tree or like power up chop. And it has a Mega Man boss level menu where you choose which level with which boss you want to go at in a sequence of your choice. And all the bosses are, from what I understand, genuine, actual, real chess masters or whatever. They have their full actual rank next to their name. They have their elo next to their name, and you fight these cartoonifications of these people with their individual power ups, which seem to be based genuinely on like their favorite moves in chess or like their mannerisms while doing chess. I don't play. I mean, I can play chess, but I have no experience with the competitive scene and what the memes and social things are in there. But this very, very much seems like a game made by somebody who is really, really in the chess scene and really knows like the ins and outs of what people are talking about in the competitive chess environment. And for some reason, they decided to make a banger ass shmup game all around that theme, which like it's genuinely
I mean, why wouldn't you, really?
yeah, it's a cool idea, and it's a genuinely polished product that I genuinely recommend people check out. This won like Newgrounds Flash Game Jam and won like a couple $100 for it, and it's deservedly so. This is a game that you could put a little price tag on it and sell, and it would be worthwhile. It was super super cool. So, Flash might have died, but Flash is still alive. That is for fucking sure.
The zombie.
It's great out there.
Flash is dead. Long live the Flash.
Exactly. Yes. And after that, I fell down another rabbit hole of one developer who makes some very interesting games. Before I go into the core series of that developer, I played one game that falls a bit out of that series. I played a game called WallGame by this creator called Faraway Drip 30, which is it's just like an arcade game where you move a character through different walls with holes in them, and the more holes you get through without crushing to the walls, the higher your score is. A very basic arcade game. It has like a bit of a fun, energetic presentation with. I like the humor, I guess. I like the energy and humor of this creator, how they design the games. But the game itself, very basic. Whatever. Going into their library of other games, though. Now this is where it is at. This was my favorite experience in gaming in a long time. And I just talked about Skate Story, my game of the year, but what's coming up now was like the greatest journey ever. Faraway Drip 30 created a game called Watching Someone Pee Simulator. The whole premise of the game is that you mash the space bar as fast as you can while your little character moves closer and closer to another peeing little crudely designed character. And when you mashed it enough and you reach the peeing character if you moved close enough to the pee guy to watch him, I guess, you win, and that's it. There's nothing more to it. This was like an April 1st fool's joke upload or whatever. But
yeah, it sounds
the but the developer went on to do a sequel every April 1st for a couple years after that.
His legacy.
Yes. And it's so dope to see this stupid idea like develop and evolve. So the year after that,
love it.
We got Watching Someone Pee Simulator 2. Very same setting, very same premise, but instead of mashing the space button, we got a much more sophisticated system now. You have a sort of bar with an arrow going through a green area, and you have to press the button when the arrow is in the green box. Only then you move closer with your character to the guy peeing. If you fuck up, you move further away. So it's a reaction-based challenge now. It's a very, very straightforward evolution of the original idea. It's fine. It's whatever. Next year, moving 1 year ahead, we got Watch Someone Pee Simulator Versus. We actually have a multiplayer mode now where two people can
we can watch each other pee.
start. No. There's still just one guy pissing, and each player like just controls a different voyeur, I guess. And whoever gets closer to the peeing guy first wins. It uses the reaction-based movement system again from
How many
previous year.
urinals are there?
I don't know. That question is not asked or answered, at least not in this game. But the next year, we got, and this is actually my personal favorite. So, where can we go from here, right? That's what the developer is asking. And this year, they come up with the brilliant idea of switching up the point of view. We're not we're no longer watching someone piss. We are gonna piss, okay? So this is preventing someone from watching you pee with a shotgun simulator. You are the pissing guy, and all those freaks are coming up to watch your ding dong dribble or whatever. And you got a shotgun and you have to shoot them all. This is
Are the power-ups water bottles?
no, unfortunately not. Maybe we get that in a future year, but we aren't there yet. That would be good. This is a bird's eye view swarm shooter kind of deal, like I don't know, Binding of Isaac or like what's the popular one right now, Vampire, whatever the heck.
Vampire Survivors?
Kinda like that, but obviously much more limited in the mechanics.
Or maybe like Enter the Gungeon?
Sure. So yeah, something like that. Yeah. You have a shotgun and you have to shoot the creatures coming at you. You go through different bathrooms, which have some spikes on the floors, like environmental hazards and whatever. You have recoil from your shotgun, so you have to watch out to not fly into like those spikes and whatever. And the mechanic here is you don't just click your mouse and shoot. The developer keeps the reaction-based mechanic where you have the bar with the arrow going left and right, and you have to click when the arrow is in the green area. Only then do you actually shoot with your shotgun. If you miss, the thing locks up and you have to wait for a cooldown to be able to shoot again. And let me tell you, running around, dodging the projectiles coming at you while aiming the gun, while doing this reaction based thing to even be able to shoot, genuinely is a tricky mechanic. I spent, I think, like 40 minutes or whatever on this game because I could not beat every level for the longest time. There's even a boss fight at the end. This is the greatest game of all time. Okay, I I can't. I lost
Game of
count
the year.
of yeah. I, I lost count of how often I've talked about video games about pissing and shitting, but this is like up there. It's generally so cool.
This tier list.
So cool.
Yes. Preventing someone watching you pee via shotgun simulator.
And on top of all those other mechanics, you have to do it while holding in your piss.
Well, we still got apparently since they are coming out every year, we still got ways to go to explore more of this, and I'm excited to see that.
It's like the EA games of piss.
I do have one thing I wish for that game. I wish it was called Shoot to Piss, like Shoot to Kill.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Maybe that's gonna be the retail release in a couple of years. I'll be all over that. Then there's one last game. The game that came out April 1st last year in 2025, which is called Watching Someone Pee Simulatoria. And this goes a very, very different direction, actually, because this is more of a narrative sequel and not actually about watching someone pee anymore. You play the character from the previous game getting a job at a fast food restaurant, and you have to fulfill orders. And the reaction based mechanics, they come in again and in a different way, and you have to make sure you get the orders right with some different mechanics, but you don't. Oh yeah, the way that you serve the orders, I remember now why this is even like part of the Watching Someone Pee franchise. You eat the ingredients, piss it in a bucket, and that's what you give the customer. So
What?
there's your thematic connection, I guess. But ultimately, it's a very, very different
now.
game. What do you understand?
Why it's supposed to be like the Pepe's, the food sim ones or whatever. Papa's
Oh, yeah.
food management simulators.
Right,
it's
right.
like,
Yeah.
that's
Pretty
what the
much.
title's referencing.
Right.
Alright.
Yeah. But again, it's like we're not in a bathroom anymore, which is a bit disappointing. So I hope this series gets back on its tracks eventually.
He demands the piss.
Yeah. they have come out consistently on every April 1st for multiple years now. We are currently in February.
Yeah.
April is not too far away, and I am genuinely excited for the next game. I commented on the most recent ones saying that I'm genuinely looking forward to it. And just earlier, when we were preparing to record this episode, I saw that I got a reply notification from a developer that they are really happy to hear it and that they are promising a banger. So this, I
All right.
That's wonderful.
watching someone P simulator. What is this? Like 6?
or
It's
so.
going to be 1, 2, 3, 4.
6.
Yeah, number 6 is. I'm excited. It's gonna be the most exciting release of the year for me. Flash is alive and well. Yeah, Far Away Drip 30s, watching someone P simulator series. Highly recommend. And that's all the games I've beaten. I'm done with my pee pee poo poo talk. Which brings us to the retire and pause section, which also is gonna be
Only one person, but it's surprising
yeah.
on who it is. It's me this time.
Mm.
There was not much of a story to this one. I was gifted Soul Calibur 6 like a year or two ago. I booted it up to try and play it with my friend who gifted me it. Despite the fact my computer has run harder games, it refuses to run Soul Calibur
Oh,
6.
Oh no.
Just like crash. I had to restart my computer once. It just refuses to play Soul Calibur 6.
full on
So
crashed. Goddamn.
well, it didn't crash, but it froze, and then I just restarted.
Right, yeah. Okay.
And I have no idea why. I feel like I've played more recent games that have more graphical, load. Like
Yeah.
not Expedition
Yeah.
33 or Persona because I stream those, but still.
Yeah, some games are just badly optimized. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get it to work sometime. But that's it. Nothing else
Right.
to say.
In a flash, we're speeding onto the playing section. And at least this time we all have something to say here. But I
Yeah.
think it's time for Leah to spearhead this.
Yeah, finally get to say
Yeah.
so.
So I'm gonna go over the ones that I've mentioned before also. Wordle, Myrtle, still doing those daily. Myrtle, I think I finished like 2, maybe 3 books of the print ones since we spoke last. Yeah, and Elder Scrolls Online, still just kind of doing a few quests here and there. I'm trying to start from the beginning and do like the whole main storyline at least. But it's just funny how like so many of the quests are basically like you investigating a rumor that turns out to be like the complete opposite. So
Yeah.
like they'll be
Yeah.
like, we heard that this guy who lives in this shed kidnapped this woman and he left her in the shed to die. And then like you go talk to the ghost and like find letters and everything. And it's like, no, actually, like she was poor and he like housed her and she like died being secure and safe in that house. But it's like it's so funny to like get a quest and be like, all right, let's find out what's really happening here. And then you're running all over the damn town trying to figure out like read everything, talk to ghosts, talk to, people
Mm.
who hearsay and stuff like that. They have so many people in the voice cast that like I'm still shocked every time I hear somebody's voice. I'm like, is that this one voice actor that I know of? And I look it up. I'm like, what the hell? Too many voice actors are going on in this game. So it's just amazing what they've got going on there. I started playing RV There Yet, which is technically one of those like friend slap games, but it's a little
Yeah.
bit more on the cozy side of things than anything. Some people on Discord wanted to play this, and I was just like, you know what, this looks like something I would play on my own anyway if I had no one else to play with. So I jumped in, but like my gaming style, I'm very stubborn when it comes to certain things. So like this game, you're just supposed to get your car, your RV to like another campsite, but whatever. But like you can also just drive through lakes. So I would just be
Mm.
going through the lake and just very slowly. And they're like, you could just there's a road over there. And I'm like, no, I got it. We can just I'll just get
Oh
there.
my
I'm just
god.
gonna drive straight through the lake. Like, so yeah, I know that my play style may end up frustrating people the more that they play with me, but yeah, I'm enjoying that one. Also, a bunch of mahjong games because of the discussion topic that we're going to be talking about later. This was my foray into
Mm.
old flash games. Basically, there's like a free newspaper that they used to have in the subways in New York called AMNY, and like there's a in the back there was always a crossword puzzle, a word search, and a Sudoku. And I always used to like whenever I would find them, I would like do those puzzles or whatever. On the website, they would have like the answers for the day before. So I look up the answers to make sure I had like everything right or whatever. And then they have Flash games on there. So I would play like every single version of Mahjong that they possibly had. The Sudoku on the website, there was a daily crossword and there was a daily cross search or whatever. So while I was looking up, I still have that bookmark on here and it's still so I went through and I was like, I have to find all the ones that I used to play every single day. Um, but there's one that I remember that was also kind of like a match too, but it was like a lightning round uh mahjong, and that's not there, and I can't remember what the name of it was, so now I'm really mad. But yeah, I'll keep the rest of my thoughts on them for the discussion
Mhm.
topic. And also because it is Olympics now, the Olympics started like a week ago. Most of the time, not a big sports fan. But when it comes to the Olympics, I want to watch every single sport that I possibly can that they will show me on TV. But the other thing is that I have been getting back into hockey lately. Me and my mom's always been a big hockey fan, and so we have been like spending a lot more time bonding over like the different hockey games that we've been watching. The last hockey video game that I played was probably like on the Genesis, probably like some long time ago like that. So I was like, there's been advancements in like these simulation games that I could probably like upgrade a little bit from that. So I went looking to see for the things that I care about. I know like a lot of people play like online or like they like to do like the career mode or whatever, but it seems to be like 22 NHL 22 was like the last good one before like a lot of like weird stuff started happening.
Before the dark time, before modern sports games.
Yeah, so I got that one and I've been playing I played it for like 7 hours in one day and I was like, okay, I need to go do other things now. So want to try like all the different modes that there are in the game, but I'm so out of my element because all I've ever done with any sports simulations is just play an exhibition match and then quit the game and then be done. That's all I've ever done. So like some other like you can build a character and then also play through the whole season, play like a whole one team as a franchise. You can play like there's 3v3, there's also like NHL ones. I have no idea what that is. And like there's all these different things that I was like, I am like so overwhelmed with everything, but I'm gonna get through them very slowly. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I always play franchise mode stuff. It rules a lot of times, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I think it's mainly because you've been talking about it that I was just like, you know what? Like I should give more of these sports games a chance. So like that's why I was like, let me think of like what are the ones that I actually would play? Because like I think I've only ever had well no maybe I've had like 2 basketball games. And like I still don't understand football, even though I watch the Super Bowl every year.
Yeah.
But
I
like
thought,
I
hold on, not understanding football as an American is wild to me. I thought that's in your blood. I thought that is by law required.
Matt, you got to realize something. There's a lot of people who watch football who do not understand
Yeah,
football.
okay, fair. Sure,
Well,
yeah.
I'm also not from I'm from like the coastlines. We're more of a baseball area
Ah, yeah, okay.
than
Oh, you're
football.
in
Football
you're
is
in
more like yeah. I'm from Yankees territory, so
New York.
yeah. So
Yeah. At least, hopefully, you're not cursed to be a Jets fan. At least.
no, I'm also a Mets fan. I'm not a Yankees fan just because the Yankees are so annoying. But
I mean, I understand that.
just trying to figure out where what other things I would enjoy more when it comes to playing more updated sports games than like what I played in like PlayStation 1 or whatever.
Right.
The next I have Hockey Super Squad. While I was waiting for NHL 22 to arrive, I remembered that oh yeah, Steam exists and sometimes Steam has demos. So maybe I can find like demos.
Team exists. Crazy.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm over here like feeding for this hockey game to get here while I'm watching the Olympics, and I was like, "Yo, there's demos. I can probably find demos." Janky little. It's kind of cute. It's kind of probably meant to be more for kids or whatever. But Hockey Super Squad. It's not an amazingly great game, but it's a 3v3 hockey thing. So like it was a little easier to like ease me back into hockey before I had like a full line going on the. So that one was cute, and it scratched that itch before NHL 22 showed up at my door. I didn't hate it. and didn't full on suck, so I might just keep it around my Steam library just in case. Every once in a while, I want to like do like
I mean, why not, right?
yeah, do like a very smaller version of hockey or whatever.
Does it have online?
I didn't even look. I'm pretty sure it did. I remember there was one point where it was just
Yeah.
it asked me to go online, and I was like, "Oh no, is this online only?" And then I found the the online
Yeah.
version.
Maybe I'll.
The page does say online, but it's also early access with no updates in over 12 months, so I would be cautious.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, if the
yeah,
online works, maybe I'll
Yeah.
play against you time.
yeah. Other things I have, Superstar Hockey was a mobile game that I downloaded last night. Um, it works. Another one that's okay, but it's a mobile game, so I wasn't expecting too much. Something like I can just play on the go hockey also. I expected that one to work better than All Stars, but spoiler alert, All Stars was a better game, I think, so far. So we'll see which one of these I keep up with. But Hockey All Stars 24 2026 season is the full name of this.
What?
Is the other mobile game loaded. But you can also like customize your jerseys and stuff, so it's a little bit more like detailed than Superstar Hockey. This one's kind of a little bit more arcadey, making shots on the goal, and it was going in, and I'm like, that went right through the goalie. There's no way that that would actually made a goal in real life or in any other game. So like, I don't know if this is gonna be that great of a game because I feel like I was winning a little too easy on that one. But both Superstar Hockey and All Stars also did not burn up my phone. Like I was expecting at least one of them to be like too resource intensive, where I was like, my phone is about to melt. I have to close this game. But while I was going through hockey games, I also realized that I haven't played a tennis game in a while, and tennis is like my preferred single athlete game sport.
Hmm.
I went through on Steam to see what I could find on Steam while also looking through like every single review that I could find on YouTube and also every single gameplay video footage that I could find.
Sounds like you spent more time researching than playing tennis.
Yeah. But
Sometimes that's
that's
how
the
it
thing. I was
goes.
also watching I mean the Olympics, so I was like, this is the time to research because I'm busy watching actual things.
Mhm.
Yeah, so what I found was Matchpoint and AO Tennis Tools, which I thought was going to be AO Tennis, but apparently it's just a character creator.
What?
So
What?
apparently you
Wait,
can create
wait.
characters and you can
It's
create
just the character creator?
yeah.
It's like Spore. They had that too.
Man, I love when you
So
played tennis in Spore.
AO Tennis looks decent, but well, it doesn't look decent actually. The graphics are but
It looks decent. Except no, surprise, bitch.
Oh my god.
but the gameplay seems decent enough. But since the demo is only the character creator, I will never know because I'm not going to purchase it unless I can tell for sure. Matchpoint, however, is the actual well, not the actual game. It's a limited version. It's a demo, but that one was actually enjoyable. So I think of all tennis games that I've heard of, there's Tiebreak, Tennis World Tour, Matchpoint, AO Tennis, Top Spin. Get like either more detailed as you play, or some of them have career mode, some of them don't. Some of them suck when it comes to scoring. Some of them suck when it comes to like character creation. Some of them have like a tennis manager mode, some of them don't. So I was like, I have to like sit here and like make a full list and figure out which parts
Oh
of the game
boy.
I actually want, and then just like figure out which one I'm going to look
And
for on discount and
that's when you end up
see
just
which
saying
one.
fuck it and putting Mario Tennis in.
Yeah,
Right. Or you end up with an Excel sheet.
that would have been the thing that I had done because I generally play the Mario things, but I don't have any of the Mario sports for Switch.
Oh, do you have NSL with the expansion pack?
Yeah.
Then you do have Mario Tennis on the N64. It's on the subscription service.
Oh, see, there you go.
You could also get the
Okay, yeah.
Virtual Boy thing for Virtual Boy Mario Tennis. I think that would be
I
good.
you know, I meant to check that out and I haven't looked at it yet. So
Dang.
I mean, the Virtual Boy is a really cool addition, even if it's so stupid.
I did the same thing for tennis on a mobile and I downloaded Tennis Clash, Tennis Manager, and Top Seed Manager. But Tennis Manager and Top Seed Manager and also Hockey League Manager, if I'm going to throw all three of these together. I know realistically that every game just boils down to like RPGs, but these boil them down so much where it's just text on a screen and they're just like, this is what happened in the match. Tell me what to do next. And I'm like, bro, like
Boy.
this is the text version of like playing any sport whatsoever. Some of them will like give you they'll give you like blister packs to open to get new like players. And I'm like,
Ah.
what game are we playing here? What is this? Why are my players coming out of a blister pack? I don't understand.
Sounds like Man Ultimate
Well,
Team.
you can't have a mobile game without gacha mechanics. That's illegal.
Yeah.
This is illegal, you know.
But yeah, so those I probably won't be coming back to. I'm going to give them a little bit more time, being that I downloaded them this morning. So I haven't played them too often. Tennis Clash seems enjoyable, but it's also just kind of like play tennis with randoms. Like they're not the actual pro athletes, which is kind of like part of what's fun for me with tennis. Like I like to play against the actual simulated version of the pros. And I think that's pretty much it for what I've been playing. I did also order NHL 25 because that has the PWHL in it, and I'm very interested in in playing with those teams also. So that I will probably be playing that by next podcast.
So next time we're gonna hear about 2 NHL games for sure.
That's right, viewers. Next time you can look forward to Piss and the NHL.
I don't know if there's gonna be more piss next time.
I guess April is not next month.
But yeah. But I might make it happen with some other things. I have some ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking that fluid is gonna be piss.
True that. All right, Roy, how about you tell us what you've been playing?
I did finish Wordle while we were talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up to 987 on the streak. So in 2 weeks, I will hit 1K if I don't lose. So I guess that means we have Piss, NHL, and Wordle coming up.
God.
Then. So
that is truly our personalities right there boiled down.
Apparently.
And birds.
I mean, Wordle. One of my old friends I used to play League of Legends with re-downloaded League of Legends, and I already was playing League of Legends periodically. So I ended up playing a decent chunk of League of Legends late at night these past 2 weeks. It's just like a hangout / chill game. Had mostly a pretty good time though. Well, not too much to say. Tabletop Simulator. I mean, I've talked about the HeroScape custom stuff I'm in, and the thing is, a bunch of friends I have who like had been looking at it before kind of joined in, not the group, but like making their own custom games and having fun with some homebrew. So I feel like every not week, I guess 4 or 5 days, we've ended up having like game nights where we play a game and have some fun and stuff. So that I've been, playing around doing that. Just, kind of fun, hang out with friends stuff again. I have not had time for a lot of solo gaming kind of stuff
no
recently.
way.
I know, crazy. It's the closest to Valentine's we're gonna get all episode apparently. And then the last one I played because of Matt talking about it earlier. I didn't play it long. I just kind of played it a bit during the episode. It is Chess Force, which you mentioned earlier. I was like, that sounds...
Not the P game?
No. I mean, you mentioned it was like guard type with chess. I do love me some chess. So I was like, let's check it out. Did not play it long. Seemed fun. Looked like a solid little flash game. Maybe I'll come back to it kind of thing. But I just wanted to check it out briefly. Not enough that I can say anything.
Yeah, I expect to hear about that next time. Don't disappoint me.
Don't disappoint me or the piss might come to you.
Exactly. All right. Guess that's my turn to talk about what I've been playing. There's mostly games that I've talked about previously. I'm still going at old school Rally. Exactly what it sounds like. It is my podcast game of choice right now, and I am I have two. Wow, I have 8 out of 28 cups left to do. I think that's it. The thing is now that I've done all the categories for like regular racing, and all that's left now is like the specialty type stuff. One where you have like vintage cars, which all control like ass, in my opinion. And the other one is like an open category where you can choose whatever you want, which is fun because the game has a couple of like joke cars that you can unlock, like an RV or like a taxi or like some other weird vehicles that you wouldn't usually do rally racing with. And doing some rally races with a taxi cab is pretty neat. But I am slowly inching to the end of this entire career, which I'm still enjoying this very much because it is such a like flawless base level for like a racing game. But I am also looking forward to playing another racing game after this because there's too many interesting ones out there. The usual dilemma.
Yeah.
Another game that I've previously mentioned is Data Wing, the mobile game that is sort of feels like an anti-grav racer. I mentioned it last time. The main mechanic being that it is a top-down view thing, and the main mechanic is that you are supposed to slid along the edge of the racetrack as close as possible to propel you forward. That is how you build the speed the best. So there is a lot of skill involved. I don't think it's like a super easy game. You have to like kind of master the main mechanic to really get good or whatever. And it is cool. I've said last time that I don't like it being on mobile, and I'm still thinking about getting it on my PC or whatever with some sort of shitty Android emulation. I don't really look forward to looking into that. That's really the only hurdle for me. But it has also like cool writing because you play your character is like a little program that is getting tasks from some increasingly conscious AI or whatever who wants to break out of the software realm or whatever, and you are just tasked to break into this software, like get this file and whatever, and it's pretty wittily written and whatever. Like there's obviously like effort into this. It is really just my gripe that it's on a phone, and I hate touch screen controls when it is about such like minute details, like minute controls to really get the speed in this racing game, that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know if again, I said this last time. I wouldn't be surprised if this game would just disappear from the list in one episode because I'm not going back to it, which would be a shame because it's cool, but it is what it is. Another game that I've been talking about already is Don't Stop Girlypop. I've been playing more of that, and
Oh yeah.
I had a really good session recently where I played for like 2 hours, and I was really feeling myself actually getting into the flow of this movement-based swarm shooter game. I've said before, this is the type of like shooter that makes me feel old because I can feel my slow brain sometimes not keeping up with these types of games. But again, I am actually like getting in the groove of it. I can feel myself like falling into a sort of flow state in certain arenas and certain fights, and it's actually very satisfying. There was a really fun boss fight even in my last play session. I'm usually not one for boss fights. I've ranted about them often in the past, I believe. Yeah, and I still adore the aesthetics, the presentation of this thing. My only somewhat major gripe with this game so far is that even though platforming movement is a major part of the mechanics, um, when it comes to vertical platforming, it kind of sucks ass. And like in between the fights, in between the arenas, you do have to, when you get to from point A to point B, it can get like kind of annoying when you have to scale like a wall of platforms, which the movement doesn't really feel like it's made for. It feels much more to be made for horizontal movement, much less vertical, and that just often feels awkward to me. Other than that, though, incredible like effort this entire game, incredible project. And then the last game pretty much that I'm playing right now with actual activity to announce is a fresh addition. This is We Were Here Together, which is one of the sequels in a
Oh,
in
yeah.
a series of asymmetric co-op puzzle games. I don't remember if I talked about a previous game in the series before, like a long time ago, maybe. But this it's pretty prominent series in this sort of genre. I feel people kind of know about these games because they are generally pretty good in what they do. The asymmetric co-op puzzling is really fun. A lot of communication needed to work with your partner to solve things in different environments. It's the type of game that my main co-op friend and I just really enjoy. And I've played previous games in the series with another friend, um, and enjoyed them. And yeah, now this friend had to answer the call for me to play this one, and it also seems just like a solid game in the series. I don't really have any complaints or anything. It is the game, the co-op game of the moment, and we're enjoying our time with that. Um, that is pretty much all of my active playing. I still got like Pokemon on my playing tab, but there hasn't really been anything happening since the last episode, so I'm just gonna glance over that. And that is, yeah, that is all that we are playing right now. There's all the games that we have interacted with in the past
I
2
think that
weeks
might
or so.
be the fastest we've ever gone through the being
Yeah,
retired
Yeah.
party section.
might be, yeah. You know, if you have a whole series of pee pee poo poo games, what else do you need? You know, that makes up for a lot, I think, in my world at least. Um,
Sure.
As long as you can
anyway,
later freeze the piss into an NHL rink, we're good.
what the fuck?
That's how they
Yeah,
color the tennis balls.
Exactly.
huh? Oh my god, this is dope. Let's move into the discussion topic.
Well, just you wait until it's like watching someone piss 26 and it's a sports version of it.
Oh my god, pissball, pissball
Yeah.
26. Um, well, so as previously announced, we're gonna talk about Flash games more broadly now, which I think it is actually kind of like reasonable if we go in a somewhat chronological order, where we start with our past. How did we interact with Flash games in the past when it was still around and active? I think we are all old enough to have witnessed those golden times, the
Yeah.
golden era
Yeah.
Yeah.
of browser gaming or whatever. So how about we reminisce a bit about those? Does anybody remember like their first ever Flash game or something like that?
I
I sure
remember back
don't.
when the Shockwave Flash loading screen would
Yeah,
appear.
Yeah.
Um, I do not
yeah.
remember my first Flash game. I remember, honestly, part of the difficulty I had with this episode is that while I remembered many Flash games I played, there were many Flash games. I just remembered the fact I played Flash games rather than remembering the specific
Yeah.
game and was kind of struggling.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna bet because I believe they were Flash games. Technically, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty confident they were. I
Yeah.
remember like
Just
the Flash player was the Yahoo games on Yahoo.com
oh wow. Yeah.
Goodness.
way
Did
back
they
in
have like
like
original things or something?
yes. So the most prominent ones were like board games and stuff like that. Yahoo
Right.
Pool, I was actually in basically a pool club for Yahoo Pool. And I won a
Shut the fuck
tournament when I
up.
was like 9 years old, 10 years old or
Shut the
something
fuck
on it.
up.
The dude got so mad over it too. So I forget everything except the finals because no surprise there of like a tournament. My mom was in the kitchen. She was like didn't want to interrupt me, but was like watching without trying to get noticed, which I don't remember if I don't think I was paying attention. I got it's a normal pool where it's like I forget what it's officially called right now, but you pick either solids or stripes and you try to get them all in, and then
Right.
you get the
Yeah.
eighth ball in. That one.
Yeah.
I forget if I was solids or stripes, but I got behind where I had like 5 or 6 balls left, and he only needed the 8th ball, and I went on a tear. got like 3 in a row. He missed his 8-ball, then I finished him off kind of thing. Just had like the wild run the table come back. He got so mad.
Oh man.
And this
The
happened on Yahoo Flash Pool?
Yeah, like, you would, like, so, like,
That's
it was, like, a
awesome.
little I wonder if there's an image I can find even, but, like, you would, like, click the stick. I think you had to hold in the, like, mouse button.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, like, a basic ass PNG of a
Yeah.
pool table, and how depending on how hard like, how far you pulled it back and all that stuff, that would adjust the,
Yeah.
power of it, and then you'd have
Oh my god.
I forget if there was an aiming reticle, if you just had to figure it out, or if there was an optional one. But like you would do
Oh,
that, and
wow.
then you'd hit them, and physics would happen. Honestly, it was pretty damn fun.
Physics would happen.
I do feel like Pool is like one of those staple Flash games that everybody has experienced at that point at least once. I'm sure there are many people that have played Flash Pool, but never actual Pool. You know, it seems
Yeah.
Yeah,
plausible.
I haven't
Oh
Yeah,
man.
played
pool,
it.
air
Cool.
hockey,
Air
dominoes,
hockey is
Oh,
Tetris.
wow.
Those are all like the
Mini
usuals.
golf as well. I feel mini golf was very popular in
Solitaire.
Flash version.
Yeah, mini golf was popular. I think the other
What?
one I remember big from Yahoo though was Yahoo Towers, which I swear to God I wish I could find still existed because it was
Oh my
You've
fucking
god.
mentioned that
fun.
before, yeah.
I have. I want Yahoo Towers to come back.
What the fuck is
Bring back
Yahoo
Yahoo.
Towers?
Well, you would like it because it's kind of a Tetris-like thing.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
I'm trying to remember exactly how it worked. I'm pretty sure it was more like Puzzle League. You would match the colors, but it was like a falling
Huh.
block puzzle game. But the key thing is that depending on how you matched up, I forget if it was the colors or the letters, you would get like special power ups, like electrifying blocks, or God. Admittedly, it's been like 15 or 20 years. I do not remember every single power from Yahoo Towers. I know,
Yeah,
shocks
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
According to this Reddit thread, the original Yahoo Towers game was Java-based, not Flash-based.
Yeah,
Damn it!
But
yeah.
apparently somebody's
Honestly,
developing a
I
new
was about
version
I
of it.
was
This
gonna
is from
say
8
the
years ago, so
I was gonna say the pool screenshots that y'all been sending here as well. I was suspicious if this is actually Flash, but like it's
Well,
sometimes hard to
Wikipedia
determine
says
what the fuck each is
Java or
anyway. So
Flash, doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah. So disclaimer here:
browser-based of
we
some
just
sort.
talking about what we think might be Flash or not. Whatever. We're not fact
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah, if it's
No, but
not that, then the first Flash games I played were probably on Neopets.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I could never get Neopets to work, and it was I feel so, like, out of touch with it
Ooh.
because that was right before we got a computer with internet at home, so the only place I could play it was at school, but at school, there were, like, so many other things I wanted to do online and had to do for schoolwork anyway, so, like, everyone else would be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll just play this when I get home," and I'm like, "No, I can't, I can only play it here." So,
Mm.
I was never able to get into Neopets. Apparently, it's still around, but at this point,
It
I
is.
think
It's actually been
very,
experiencing a
very much failed.
resurgence because it got
Yeah.
new owners after ownership was like some assholes that were trying to like cryptoize it or whatever. But now it's got people who actually give
Oh
more of
my
a shit,
god.
basically. Neopets fucking ruled. I could go on and on, dude.
It was like a whole I remember there was like a whole internet thing where like it was like something to do with the owners of Neopets was yeah, I'm looking at like the developers and publishers. There's like Neopets, Nickelodeon Games, Jumpstart Games, NetDragon Websoft, World of Neopia, Nickelodeon publisher,
I
and
think
World of
World of Neopia
currently it's
is
World of
either like
Neopia, so yeah.
yeah, if I recall, what basically happened is that like one of the original owners and a bunch of fans purchased back Neopets, and that's like the name they
Oh,
use
okay.
Oh.
for it. Because
The
World of
power of
Neopia,
Y2K nostalgia.
pretty much. I mean, they're back up to like 400, 500K users.
Wow.
So
Jesus
that's
Christ. Do they
But
still have Flash games though?
well, they're not in the Flash engine, I assume, anymore. But yes, they do. I was actually
Yeah.
playing NeoQuest in browser last year because I wanted to experience again. I was playing stuff because, dude, I could tell you there was like Doubloon Disaster, Cast Basher, Merca Chase, Termac Roll, Volcano Run, Cheats,
Who
NeoQuest.
who needs to buy games if you can just go there all day?
Real
Like
though.
You can just
genuinely,
play
yeah.
Neopets.
Real.
Yeah.
Forget
Fuck
I
humanity.
don't know
Sun.
what's
Return to
Fuck
the
Neopets.
Expedition 33. Let's go to
Right, right.
Neopets.
I mean, dude, I trained up for the Battle Dome, let me tell you.
Oh my god. That's some ancient fucking knowledge right there. If only somebody would revive the game.
I think people are trying to. But
Okay,
unless it's big, it won't be the same.
so we got Yahoo games and
Yeah.
Neopets so far. Where else did we play Flash games? Leah, where did you get your Flash games back in the day?
I mean, most of the time it was like, man, what was the name of the most of the time it was Newgrounds, but if it wasn't Newgrounds, it
Yeah.
was like that fish website.
Ish?
I can't remember the name. I think it was like Big Fish Games or something like that.
Oh,
That's where I
holy
used to play
shit.
all that.
Big
Yeah,
Fish
Big Fish
Games.
Games. Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
But yeah, so they were mostly like casual games. There were a lot of like this is where I got stuck on like time management games. So I used to play like a lot of like
Oh.
before like Diner
Mhm.
Dash. Before that became a thing, like they had like all these other like smaller versions of it where you could just play like dumb stuff, but like I would just play like all the levels in one sitting and then be like, all right, next tomorrow I will play this game all the way through. Tomorrow I'll play that game all the way through. I used to
That's
play a lot of stuff on the USA Network also because I used to watch like every single one of their shows in the 2000s. So like they
yeah.
had like the site game that I recently got back into and played. They also had like I think there was like some match game for like Monk and there was a Burn Notice game also. It was like a lot of
Oh
little showy
boy.
stuff. That was like the turn though because I know that I used to play a lot of browser stuff, but then like when brand names started putting them on their website, like USA or like NBC or stuff like that, that's when like Facebook decided, oh hey, we're gonna do the Facebook games area, and then
Mhm.
that's when we got like Farmville and everything, and then everybody was just playing on Facebook instead of going to like all these weird quirky sites. So that was kind of like the to
Right,
me
yeah.
that feels more like the end of like when the Flash stuff was. But I mean, for me, I used to play again, I used to play any solitaire game I can find, any Tetris game, any Mahjong game that I could find. Um, Agar.io, Newgrounds to have the dinosaur Newgrounds, and then Chrome's little dinosaur uh one when you don't have
Yeah, the
internet,
Dino
the
Run
snake
thing.
YouTube buffer
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
thing.
I've played that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the OG Plants vs. Zombies also. Um,
Yeah,
the
PopCap
Impossible
stuff, yeah.
games, Line Rider, Ninja Rope.
Let's
Uh,
fucking go Line Rider. I was obsessed with that as a kid. Oh my god. I
yeah,
wish I had my old shit still. God
God,
damn.
I
stick
remember
figure
playing
fights,
Newgrounds
stick
games, but I
food.
just can't remember what they are.
The only thing I will say is that the Stickman games were my favorites, and also I think we had like some game on like
Um,
early, not early, maybe
the
like
Henry
OS 10.
Stickmin? Or what do you mean?
No, it was like there was like a fighting game that they were just
The
stick
Shao Shao
figures.
ones. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, Stickman, Stick Food, the stick figure fights, and yeah, all those little like janky ones that are just like the easiest graphics
There
ever, but like
there's a
but
stick
also like
fight game on Steam that we could play. It's multiplayer only, so I've not been
oh,
trying it out yet, but we could play
okay,
that.
cool. And also I will honorable mention to Robot Unicorn Attack, which was
Oh yeah.
Yes!
like
I was
Oh my
gonna
jam
god.
mention
for the
that.
longest.
Oh
Dude,
Jesus.
you remember the memes, right?
I don't remember the memes.
That was like my thing for
Always
like
gonna be with
years.
you and make believe with
Oh
you.
man. That got me into so many of their songs too. Because then they came out with like sequel game or whatever that had more racial songs, and I was like, oh my god, like
Yes. And
Yeah,
they had the
I
heavy metal
think
version, the alternate
yeah.
version of it.
yeah.
Matt's sitting here like, what the fuck are these crazy people talking
I
about?
vaguely remember, like I have heard of that, but I think I only heard about those games once the retail release came out. I don't think I was aware of the
Oh
games
man.
beforehand.
If you've never tried them, you should try them. It's just an endless runner, but it's fun.
Yeah, I don't really. There's no. You know what I played on fucking Newgrounds? uh,
Yes, please
I,
tell us about Newgrounds.
Yo, what
I
has
remember,
Matt
like,
played on Newgrounds?
I think I was just one of those like stereotypical boys that just like type disgusting shit into the Newgrounds search and then look
Really,
at
the
all the
guy who
yeah
says
yeah
watching someone do simulator was
right.
looking that up at like age 13?
I know
Crazy.
that's not at all surprising or shocking,
Shocking.
and I actually find it funny that I went to Newgrounds recently and I logged into my account and noticed that they now on the registration page have if you're under 18, ask your parent for permission. And it's so funny to me because Newgrounds was like one of the main websites in early internet where kids like bypassed any of these like
Right, right.
regulations and just watched
Yeah.
the most horrible or horny fucking nonsense that there is
You
because it was
absolutely
the
know
Wild
they're like,
West on
oh
there.
yeah, I definitely asked my mom.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny to me. But yeah, I played a lot of nasty shit on there, but also one of the weirdest, dumbest things I remember like finding on Newgrounds at some point was a thing called May Cause Seizures, and it was just some guy creating some uh, fast flashing visually
Oh my
busy
god.
things and you were tasked to find like a couple specific objects there like it was a hidden object game on crack that did not care whether or not you have epilepsy stuff
Oh,
going
gee,
on. It
given the
was
name, I wonder what it was
I believe
doing.
yeah yeah, but I loved that shit. I loved burning out my eyes with these flashing lights while searching for these funny little uh objects. That's the
Why do you
type of
think I
shit that
wear
I
glasses?
remember. Right.
I love searing my eyes as I stare into the abyss.
Yeah. Also remember very fondly the Trials bike games. Surely you two have played
Mhm.
No,
those? Yeah. I
I
feel
Yeah.
have
like
not.
everybody has played that. The
Yeah.
Trials games were, I mean, they were shareware basically, where it was a 2D platformer with a bike that you drove through an obstacle course. And that shit became so popular that it spawned like, I think more than 10 retail releases over the year. I think they are still putting
Seriously?
out full games every now and then these
Damn,
days.
how have I never heard
But it
about this then?
I genuinely don't know. I think they got Red Links was the developer originally, and they got bought out by Ubisoft at some point. Maybe you avoided it because of it or something. Because it's
I don't know.
Ubisoft, who
I've
knows?
purchased Ubisoft games. I doubt that's it. I think it's just a blind
Right.
spot.
But like Trials is just one of those like infamous games that I feel like everybody has stumbled across on some website at some point, but most people didn't pay the money to buy the full game. So I think you only get 2 levels in the shareware version, and I think that's what people only know. They eventually, like 10 years later, or whatever, released a freeware version with the whole game and all the expansions whatever, which is kind of you can find it on like the Internet Archive or whatever, but there's no official download anymore. But it's still like I played that a couple of years ago, and it's still like kind of worth it just as a pretty good and very much of its time like platforming game, a vehicular platforming game, and it's difficult as well. It's a good challenge, but it's like when I think of browser games, that's like one of the first things I think of. Also, do you remember the interactive buddy? Which was like some small humanoid
Oh,
creature in
the
a
Yeah.
box that
Yeah.
you could like torture, basically.
Oh
And you
no,
could give it like
that's not what I was thinking.
you could like
I was
unlock
thinking of like
different.
the bonsai buddy thing.
God, no.
I don't know what that is. I don't think.
It's a virus.
It is, but also there was like a
the
game
monkey.
around it, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I don't. I know. I know the monkey application, but I don't know a game about the. Yeah, this interactive buddy thing was also kind of like infamous for floating around the internet. You could like unlock different skins of like real personalities, like George W. Bush and shit like that, and then like I don't know, throw grenades at it and see the physics freak out and whatever. It was really stupid, but also like one of those like staple flash games at the time. I feel.
It's
It's
definitely one of those
really
you had
fucking
to be
dumb.
there things because people nowadays would be
Yeah,
like, "What?"
yeah. Yeah. I think actually that's a big charm, at least for me, when it comes to these browser games or flash games, because a
Yeah.
lot of them are such candid time capsules of when they were created.
That's
That is
Yeah.
true.
what's so fun about
Definitely.
those. Yeah. And it's
God, I
like
wish I
that's
remember.
cool that that's one of the reasons why it's so cool that Newgrounds is still around, still active. Tom
Yeah.
Fulp, the creator of the website, is still doing tons of shit, even like releasing, publishing retail games at this point, but also having all these active community events on Newgrounds. They have
Right.
their whole partnership with Ruffle, which is the software that makes all those Flash games still like playable on the website. All of the
Mm.
old things are still there and like honored as like these historic pieces of the internet and whatever. It's a really, really cool community that's worth being cherished because you don't really see that too much in digital spaces. It's kind of wonderful, honestly.
Man, I feel like I remember like a Family Feud flash game I played some.
Yeah, I
I can't
bet.
really remember what it'd be called.
Oh, there's so many. If you're speaking of like knockoff Flash games, one of my most prominent ones was a Bomberman knockoff Flash game that I forced my friends to play with me every time. And I think to this day, I've still only played one official Bomberman game, and that was like an RPG spin-off thing. So I love Bomberman, but I have only really played Flash Bomberman. I really need to change that at some point.
You do. Although honestly, I always think, as I recall, it was like an official Family Feud game. Because I think it was like
Oh,
the Game Show Network had a website that had
yeah,
like
that
Oh, yeah.
makes
little
sense.
Flash browser
Yeah.
games. I'm pretty sure that was where I played it.
Yeah, that was, like,
Uh,
around the time where everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna have, like,
yeah,
our own games portal
yeah.
on every site for some reason."
Yeah, and they'll just have like 4 or 5 little Flash games on it, which you've never heard of, and half of them are like a little mini game or whatever.
I
Yeah.
think like my Neopets website was probably togo.de, which was the official website for a German TV station with a lot of kids shows. And yeah, they
Hmm.
also had for every fucking show they had some handful of Flash games on there, and it was like kind of as a kid like crack going on there because it was like being in a candy store or whatever. I remember before my family had a PC, uh, like paying the money in the internet cafe shop for an hour just to sit on that website and like go through all the nonsense on there. Uh, that's a that's the sort
Right.
of like joy and excitement, the childhood joy and excitement that never has been, relived as you get older. I don't know why those
Yeah,
games, those websites were that magical back then.
because you were a kid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
With something
very
like
true.
that, where it is like, just some fun games for like something you were into as a kid. Usually, it's because you were a kid and you were just happy to play a little game
Right.
with your characters.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have stood the test of time, though, like, you're still playing Neopets, so
Well, but think about it, Neopets wasn't based on something I was interested in as a kid. It was an original property. That's what I was trying to
Right.
Okay.
say.
Oh,
Because he
okay.
was, because he was talking about like he was on Toggle.d,
Ye-
which is like German kids shows.
yeah.
I was thinking like Cartoon
Yeah.
Network or Disney having like their
Yeah,
Flash
yeah,
games.
yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
Quap. We all played Quap, right?
WAP,
Yeah, and
yes.
Bennett 40 is still around today, which is kind of crazy to me. There's
Yeah.
I vividly remember if you're talking about like Flash or browser games that eventually became retail games, I vividly remember when Alien Hominid, which is was a Flash
Oh,
Oh,
game by
Alien
yeah.
Tom
Hominid.
Yeah, by Tom Fulp himself, the Newgrounds creator himself. When that
Right.
actually made the transition to full-on retail game, I vividly remember as a kid or teenager being like, "Holy fuck, this is huge. This is
Yeah.
incredible." And
Holy
it
shit.
feels kind of magic.
It is
It
still
kind of
pretty
fed into
cool.
that whole indie game thing because there
Yeah.
was also like N and Super Meat
Oh,
Boy
yeah.
and like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Super Beat
all those
Boy.
like all those sort of things. So they were just on Steam or whatever, and it was just like, what are you talking about? This should be on somebody's random site somewhere.
And it was the era of Xbox Live Arcade where they
Yeah.
put a lot of that stuff up
True.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
When Line Rider got onto the Nintendo DS, I thought like that's a dream come true
Yeah.
with the touchscreen.
Like all those early like phone games, like Idiot Test and
Yeah.
Zelda Flash clones that they used to
Oh,
have, Boom Shine,
Yeah.
and all
Super
those
Smash
sort of like
Flash, that was a classic one back
yeah,
then. I didn't play
yeah.
yeah,
much, but
yeah.
I remember when Castle Crashers got big. And that was like
Yeah.
also by the
Yeah.
Newgrounds guy.
That was so funny because that was around the time where my computer was too old to play Flash anymore. So everyone started playing Castle Crashers and talking about it, and I was like, I can't get to this game. So
Damn, that's brutal when your computer's too old to play Flash.
That
yeah.
is yeah, that hurts.
Well, that was the
Also,
other reason why I couldn't play some of the US network and like early Facebook
mm,
games. Everybody was playing them, and I was like, my computer won't load it. So
that sucks ass. What
a lot of
was
that
your
stuff.
PC even able to do if not that? That is so fucking
I mean, I
Jesus.
guess there had to be at least some point where Flash was new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not there, not that time. I know. Doesn't
Yeah.
sound like it. Also, we
Yeah,
before
that
we
computer I had at the time was ancient at that point. So, like, it
Oh,
couldn't
there you
even
go.
update the browser at some point. I had to download like an like exception version of Firefox that was built for the chips that were running in my computer. So,
oh
Dear
wow.
yeah,
God,
rough
I'm
time.
poor as fuck. I've never been that far behind.
Oh,
To be
that's
fair, I
beautiful.
also there was a Mac laptop, so like they were like
Oh, even worse.
they went out of they kind of get obsolete after a
Right. Yeah.
shorter amount of time than the PCs. So
Don't buy Mac.
yeah,
Problem solved.
yeah. I mean, I've learned that lesson. I
There you
grew
go.
up with Macs, but you know the planned obsolescence really gets to you after a while. So
Yeah. That's one way to say it.
now I'm on Linux. So
There you
Yeah.
go.
I just wanted to mention real quick, since we have talked about Alien Hominid real quickly there. Uh, I just learned in preparation for this episode that they released a brand new Alien Hominid retail release just like last year or something. Like it's crazy
Yeah.
that's
what?
still going on. But also, of course, we got Mutagenics that just came out, and Edward
Oh yeah.
McMillan is also like Newgrounds was his coming of age
Yeah.
location basically.
Yeah.
Uh, it's super cool having grown up with all of these with this era or whatever to see those creatives that spawned through those communities still being around and
Mhm.
still making new shit and whatever. It's dope to see.
It is really cool. I remember being so sad when Flash was like game sunset.
I wasn't. I
Yeah.
wasn't. Yeah,
I was devastated.
I
I was
Yeah.
was
devastated.
even then. I was convinced this is not gonna last. People are gonna find workarounds. People are gonna make it work. I just know it. I
It's
trust in
not.
the community.
It's just not. It's just not the same though.
I
With the
think it's
workarounds, there's just.
fine.
I didn't say no. I didn't say it wasn't fine. Those are separate discussions.
Yeah.
Because now that makes it just like it's a platform people can make it with. But it was like the end of a certain era in a way. Now it's like
Yeah.
now it feels more like an enthusiast thing. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's okay, but that would have happened either way, even if Flash didn't die, because people just move on.
Well,
It is
yeah,
funny
but
to
it
see.
was more like representative rather than
Right,
like because it's you know what I mean.
right.
And I was still
It is a
doing stuff with Flash, honestly.
yeah. But hey, people are still building stuff with Flash, as I mentioned the Newgrounds, like game jam events and whatever. It's pretty cool. It is kind of funny to see Newgrounds nowadays, and it's kind of like an itch.io with games in all
Yeah.
sorts of different like engines. But you can still find brand new Flash creations, which is I actually wonder like what tools are they using? Because surely they are not using the outdated official tools to create things. I haven't like looked that up, but that might be an interesting rabbit
I
hole
mean,
to
they
go
could.
down
That
as
would be
well.
interesting, but maybe they do.
Yeah, who knows? Which is an
Honestly,
interesting
in
thing in itself, then.
yeah, that is. But honestly, Newgrounds kind of was like itch.io of its era, frankly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it just kind of has passed the Newgrounds has passed the baton to Itch in
Yeah.
that sense, where like a lot of like you said, like it was like a time capsule of like humor of the time and stuff like that
Mhm.
on Newgrounds culture. Like a lot of those stuff you see on Itch now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
Basically like what the prevalent culture of the internet denizens, I guess, is
Yeah.
on these websites.
Um, do we have any more like favorites that we wanna shout out? Like favorite Flash games before we forget? Uh, I'd certainly have a couple still that I wanna actually mention.
One I would want to mention is this. I mean, because I mentioned like Robot Unicorn Attack,
Yeah.
and a very
Mhm.
similar game which I rather enjoyed. I mean, I've always kind of remembered like the vibe of it was Cannabot. You remember Cannabot?
Yeah.
Just
I
like it was
only
another like
yeah,
endless running game.
I only know Cannibal because I played Super Indie Cards where that's a character.
That's fair. And it had good music for. It had good music because it was the Super Meat Boy guy who like
Edward
did the music.
McMillan.
Mm.
No.
Oh,
The
the music
composer.
guy from Super Meat Boy. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Uh, looking it up. Daniel Baranowski. I'm not gonna even
Okay.
try to pretend my pronunciation's good, but I had good music, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've never.
And I think well, you can keep talking. I'm gonna look something up.
Yeah. Well, one Flash game that I wanna really shout out is a thing called This Is the Only Level, which also has not only gotten sequels in Flash form, but also is nowadays available as retail release in Steam and whatever. And that is like, it is one of those sort of meta concepts that I love, where it is a 2D platformer with only one level, but each time you clear it, each time you move the character to goal, you restart with a completely new set of rules. And the challenge is to understand, to figure out the rules to get to the goal of the level. Uh, and they do
Oh
some
yeah,
very, very creative stuff with these sorts of experimentations where, like, it was a perfect breeding ground, the Flash era, for these sorts of experimentations. There were some fun adver games like Domestos Flush, another pee pee poo poo game from me right here, which is that was a pretty fun puzzle game where you have to get rid of bacteria in a toilet bowl by aiming your Domestos Flush toilet cleaning uh, products the right way. Uh, brands had fun sometimes back in the day.
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I found what I was looking at. The Cannabot guys. They founded the. They end up founding the publishing company that did like published like Tunic, Chicory, Night in the
Oh,
Woods, a bunch of stuff like that. So that's another
oh,
thing where someone who started on Newgrounds has
yeah.
you know been making impact in the gaming world like 15 years later or whatever.
I'm also like I just learned that Armor Games, which were one of the bigger Flash publishers in the early internet days, is still around as a publisher for retail releases. Yeah, like you can find them on Steam. I found that
That's
funny
cool.
to learn. Yeah. It's cool to see these
Huh.
developments over the years, especially since gaming, of course, is like one of the youngest types of media out there. We don't have that much
Yeah.
history of it yet, but now we got a decent like amounts of decades where we can actually see and study these developments and be, amazed by them in a way.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
While we've been talking, I've been like looking through list of Flash games to see if anything jogs my memory. I did just see a game called P, so there's one for your collection in the future.
Sure. Send it over. I'll check it out.
Sure.
I probably genuinely do like the Flash game era so much of my pee pee poo poo humor. That cannot be denied. Certainly that had a big impact on me. I
Yeah.
guess kind of like next question. We talked about the Flash games of the past. Where are we standing when it comes to the present? Are we looking up the odd cheeky Flash game these days? Are we dabbling in all of those preservation projects that are out there? Are we visiting Newgrounds still? I do, like every year or so, once a year.
Well,
What about
I can't say
you?
I've never visited Newgrounds after Flash
Yeah,
closed, but I can't say I make it exactly a regular thing. I think my experience
yeah.
with Flash after it closed down is that I downloaded the entire Flashpoint archive and I never touched it.
that is some good shit. I played some stuff in there. I have a whole backlog in Flashpoint
I don't know,
of that
just
shit.
I don't know. It just is a bit different. It feels like, but it is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I go to Newgrounds sometimes, but mainly I'm on itch now. I've moved on to
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
modern versions of these games, but yeah, every once in a while, like I'll remember some other game that I used to play, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if that's available somewhere. But like again, like the Line Rider and the stick figure ones, they tend to come up every once in a while, and I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
remember that other game I used to play? And then I go look down a rabbit hole, some other thing
Right.
related to that. So, um,
Oh, and I do sometimes go back to Neopets.
okay.
Of
I just
course, of
remembered that.
course. I remember when I still kind of like did my How Long to Beat forum blog thing. I did like do like a Newgrounds November once or whatever, where I was going through a bunch of Newgrounds games and wrote about them.
I mean, that would be a
Didn't.
nice addition to our Itchmas catalogs.
Newgrounds.
Yeah,
Itchmas
Newgrounds
in
November.
July, Itchmas in January, we got Newgrounds November. Play like 50
Yeah.
million 5-minute games.
Fuck yes, dog.
Actually, it would be funny if Itchmas let you nominate Newgrounds games, and then you could get somebody, and then you could get
Yeah,
people to watch P.
yeah. They are all free, which is one
Prevent them
requirement
from
for
doing
HMS.
such.
Yeah, with a shotgun.
Man, that game ruled so hard, dog. So good. I challenge you to beat that. I genuinely do.
I was just trying it now, and I cannot.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
Well, there you go. We already know one of the games Leah will have on her playing list next time around.
Heck yeah. The curse of the P continues throughout this podcast. It never stops. Um,
I think if your pee doesn't stop, maybe you should see a doctor.
that would be an impressive feat, honestly. Does anyone remember some genuine, like, weird or trash Flash games that they like that stuck in their memory for some reason?
I don't
I
know.
because I can start
I just
here.
have the memory. I just have the memory of sometimes playing Flash games, and sometimes they were good, sometimes they were bad, but not specific.
Well,
That's the
let me
problem.
Yeah, I don't
let
have
me
any that I don't think I ever played a Flash game more than once.
well,
Like, there was stuff that I
yeah.
heard about, and I was like, "Okay," I open it, and then, like, I'll never remember that that existed later on.
Yeah, aside from
So
multiplayer stuff, I don't think I like revisited Flash games mostly either. I remember a couple back when I still did my YouTube stuff. I remember stumbling over the Sonic Inflation Adventure trilogy on Newgrounds, and I made videos about that.
Yeah,
Created
that's something
by
that you'd pay attention to.
yeah, created by Jimberly Chaotic. And that is, yeah, that genuinely was one of the most memorable nonsense shit posts, whatever the fucks, that I ever witnessed on the internet. I couldn't tell you what the fuck those things were about, but they were full on visual novel style games with some Ace Attorney elements and whatnot. That shit was wild. I think I was drunk for one of those playthroughs because it was just such a riot. And also, I
Get a little
remember,
drunk. Play a Flash game.
yeah, yeah, as you do. And also, I remember playing some of those PETA games, the so-called animal welfare organization. They have all their tasteless
yeah.
parody
Oh
Flash
yeah,
games. Yeah,
I feel
You said
confident
like
PETA,
I've
and
played one or
I
two
heard
of those.
Hunger Games PETA, and I was very confused
Hunger
for a
Games
second.
PETA. Yeah.
I
Um,
was worried that it was PETA.
PETA. Well, yeah, I did play I played Super Tofu Boy, which was the Super Meat Boy thing, and like I am a pescatarian, probably a vegetarian at some point once that wall breaks as well. Uh, but
Hmm.
like, and I like tofu, but these games are fucking ass, and Peter is not really doing them a favor with these
Yeah, they're not.
cynical creations.
Yes,
Yeah.
which
I
makes
also remember
sense because PETA's
playing
not good for animals anyway.
They're for good reason a very controversial group organization.
Yeah.
Not my animal welfare group of choice. I also played
Not
Super
my
Chick
welfare
Sisters.
group.
Yeah. I also played Super Chick Sisters 1 and 2, which were like anti KFC platformers. And it's crazy to me that they made two of them. But that was an
Yeah, I
Because
was
the
gonna say.
experience.
first did so good.
Yeah. The second one did add a wall jump, which I applaud. That's pretty good. Still not great, but
Not
it's
ideal, no.
not ideal. But it's kind of just funny when people use these tools for their I don't know, for the message. It's an interesting way. It's a more interesting way, certainly, than I don't know, an angry pamphlet or whatever. So I kind of like digging in those sometimes every now and then. Though this is not a recommendation for those games. That is for fucking sure. But anyway, point being, Flash games are a huge spectrum, a wonderful little world of chaotic nonsense from all sorts of angles, and it's wonderful for that. I don't know if we have anything more to say about Flash.
I don't know that I do either. One thing I guess I was gonna say this, but isn't actually about Flash. I do also feel like things like you ever played the Discord games with people? Like that feels like a bit of a
Yeah,
modern Flash
Oh,
energy
yeah.
too, is all I was
true.
gonna say.
Very, very
Yeah.
true.
They even have like mini golf. So
Actually,
I don't
I
know if they
forgot
have
to
full
Yeah,
golf.
ask.
you can see the influence of Flash all over the
Yeah,
internet at this
totally.
point.
We have already kind of talked about Flash games that made the transition to retail releases. Did you ever play any of those?
Have I ever
I
played
like
Super Meat
Super
Boy?
Meat Boy maybe.
I mean, I'm trying to remember if I ever actually opened Super Meat Boy or not.
I played it a couple years ago. Also played some retail trials games. And there's Armed with Wings. That's a bird game where you play a samurai who has a bird companion with its own abilities. Is originally a Flash game, which I played years ago, and I did find out that there's a retail sequel called Armed with Wings Rearmed. I almost
Ugh.
played that this week
Yeah.
for preparation for this episode, but I haven't gotten to it yet. It is on my priority backlog right now, though, so maybe I will get to this till the next time.
Oh, that looks neat.
It's cool to see these step ups from Flash to retail release. It's interesting to see the changes and
Yeah.
whatnot.
All right, Bit Trip Runner. That was a Flash game, wasn't it?
It's sometimes hard to
That
Or
was
tell.
was it
like in
just a
the
browser
weird
game?
area.
I don't
I'm
know
not
if it
sure if
was a
I've played
browser
any
game.
that. Yeah, but I know it was on WiiWare. I guess I don't know if it was ever on browser.
I haven't played it in browser, that's for sure.
I'm not sure I've played any that made it to retail. Honestly.
One situation where I played a game on Steam that I bought and later found out that it's a Flash game originally. But
Yeah,
that
that
was
happens to me a lot, mainly because I
really
missed most of the Flash era, where it was just like it was that weird area where it was like things are starting to show up on retail, and you're like, I don't know where this came
yeah.
from. For all I know, it was a browser game.
Yeah, those
But yeah,
2010s early.
yeah, like a lot of those, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of this game. I'll just download it from Steam because where else would I get my games? And then find out that like, oh yeah, this started way back in the day.
So the only time that I remember that happening was with a Christmas music rhythm game called Santa Rockstar Metal Xmas HD, I think. And only afterwards, like it wasn't like a fancy release or whatever, it was a little fucking stupid, janky casual game. And I afterwards found out that it was a Flash game before that, and it made a lot of sense.
I just gotta say that's the name of the game, along with stuff like watching Piss Simulator or whatever. That like feels so Matt core is all I can say.
Santa Rockstar Metal Xmas HD feels madcore?
Because
No.
you would play some kind of bullshit
Yeah,
because that's
that
not
is
like it's some
true.
kind of
Kind of
comedy game.
bullshit.
That's like some kind of bullshit where like yeah, Santa
Yeah.
Metal Rock whatever. And it's just gonna be like a 10-minute joke game.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. I do play bullshit a lot. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, let's flash over to the collection game where Roy is going to be host today as the glorious winner of the last round.
The guy who
He's going
actually
to
knows what the Xeno series is named.
yeah, the fucking what a debacle that was. So Roy's gonna pull a random collection through the How Long to Beat website search and give us the
Yep,
title,
the
creator name, and amount of
collection
games.
collection needs to have at least 10 games. I named the title, who did it, and the number of games in there. Everybody
Yeah.
gets one chance to veto if they don't like it.
Yeah.
Then we just go and every correct guess is a point. Once a guest makes 3 long guesses, they're out, or every game is guessed, I suppose. And there's like power ups, but I'm not going to go through all of them because I think nobody's
Yeah.
really used them much to begin with, frankly.
No.
I'll explain them if they come up, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I always have this tab
All right.
open, but I never go through.
Yeah, same. One day it's gonna be
God.
crucial.
This would have been a great category. It's called built-in browser games, but it only has 6 games. Damn.
Oh, that's
Oh no.
that's sad. That's a bummer.
All right. In that case, we got Mythion with a collection that just says PlayStation 1 and has 20 games. It has no
Sure.
description.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Leah starts. Yes.
Well, wait. Does she want a veto?
Oh, sure.
No.
Just because you don't want a veto doesn't mean she can't. Okay. All right.
Well, yeah, I'm starting and I'm not using veto, so that's the first thing. PlayStation 1 or just PlayStation?
PlayStation 1.
Thank God.
Okay.
There is no description. There's nothing else in the title. I'm gonna say as an addition, none of the games have notes on them.
Okay.
Tomb Raider 2.
Guess what? Tomb Raider 2's on here. You get a point.
Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna say Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. No.
Shut the heck up, dog.
There is no Crash Bandicoot.
Ugh.
Metal Gear Solid.
No.
Okay.
Damn.
Spyro the Dragon.
No. There is no Spyro the Dragon.
Fucking Christ, dog.
That's it. That's all the games I know. No. That PlayStation 1?
I'm surprised no. I'm surprised nobody's gone with the obvious choice here.
I feel like all of these were
Tomb
obvious
Raider.
so far. Yeah.
Yeah, Tomb Raider 1. It is on there.
Oh. Yeah.
Two's on there, one's probably on there.
Am I gonna if I would hypothetically say Tomb Raider 3, I bet I'm gonna be fucked. So I don't dare. I don't trust it. I only have one more guess if I fuck up.
That's right.
So I'm gonna. So we had Tomb Raider 1 and 2 so far, and that is it. It's the only
That's
clues. What the fuck could this person be playing on a PlayStation 1?
Literally, there is no description, no notes, nothing. So I can't even tell you anything if I wanted.
Okay, let me look
No
at
notes.
the fucking.
Matt
There's
looks
no
through
description,
every
no notes.
PlayStation 1 game.
The power-ups do not help here at all. Come on. I'm gonna
Yeah, none of the power-ups
say
even do anything here.
Gran Turismo. Please.
There is Gran Turismo.
Oh,
Nice.
thank God.
You get a point. You don't get skunked again. So I think you've lost more points than you've gained like the entire collection.
Yeah.
game.
Final Fantasy
Alright,
7.
Leah. Nope.
Aha! Okay. Come on. So they do like Tomb Raider, do like Gran Turismo. Do they like Gran Turismo 2 though? That's not my guess. I'm thinking. I don't trust it. Do not trust
He
it.
doesn't trust it.
What?
All the PlayStation 1 games that come to mind now are some obscure nonsense. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I mean, you
same.
never know. For all we know, this guy's just like some hidden fucker.
Yeah, but I can't risk it anymore. I only have like one loss to go. PlayStation
I have
1.
2 guesses left?
No,
you
have
also only
one.
have one.
Oh.
We both made 2 mistakes. My
He goes after
guess.
you. So you guessed 4 times, he's guessed 3, and he's on 4.
Yeah.
My guess. What did I? Dino Crisis. Let's go. Fuck it.
No.
Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking.
Alright, Leah. I mean, I've heard worse guesses.
I'm gonna go really weird. Vigilante 8.
No, although I like the guess.
Okay,
Alright,
well.
so Leah gets... I do want to say, Gran Turismo 2 was on here. You big-brained yourself out of the point.
Oh my god, dude. Every time. Every single time.
Sometimes the obvious play is the obvious play. Alright, so Leah will... I do want to say this list, because I feel like it's funny for like a list you were trying to guess. Because the first game is Tiger Shark.
What? Is that like a shmup thing?
It looks like a shmup. It has no entries on How Long to Beat, to be clear.
Oh my god.
It has 2 people playing it, 10 backlogs. Nobody is rating or beating this game on How Long to Beat.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
But
what else is
Tiger,
there?
Tiger Shark, Siphon Filter 2, but none of the other Siphon Filters, just Siphon Filter 2. Soviet Strike, Nuclear Strike, Medal of Honor Underground,
Oh my god.
Medal of Honor 1999, Gran Turismo 2, G-Police, Firestorm Thunderhawk 2, Duke Nukem Time to Kill, Duke Nukem Land of the Babes, Tomorrow Never Dies.
I was gonna say Duke Nukem.
Yeah, that's so bad. 007, The World Is Not Enough, Die Hard Trilogy, Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider, Driver,
Die Hard?
Descent 2.
Driver! I gotta say, that's an ass collection, dog. You got...
Let me like, what do you mean? What I wonder is, what is the collection for? Like, is that backlog?
That's a wild
I mean, the dude
collection.
knows what he likes, I'd say.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah, that's clear. My gosh.
Alright, so Leah got 2
Love
correct
that.
guesses for 2 points and 3 bonus points for getting the most. She'll also be hosting next time. And Matt gets a luxurious 1 point.
For Gran Turismo, hell yeah. Love that game.
Yeah. So should have gone with Gran Turismo too.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem, man.
Duke Nukem.
So,
You
but as
Dukey,
it
you Nukey.
stands, Roy is still king with 18 points. Nobody has reached that today.
I
Leah
mean,
second place with
with
15.
I came in with a 6-point lead. It was gonna be hard to catch in one try.
Yeah. That was a nightmare. All right, I guess that
I'm shocked nobody else
concludes.
vetoed it.
I thought it was like I really thought this would have been an easy fucking thing. I was thinking obvious PlayStation 1 games, but I guess not.
No, I meant the Xeno thing from last time, but this time too.
I was just trying to think of everything that I remember in that jewel case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it worked. You got 2 of them, which is I'm gonna bet 2 is probably above average.
I'm ready to end this episode, so dear listeners.
He's gotta grab his shotgun so he can show piss. We'll see you next time. If you also need to piss, make sure to tell us in the description. Goodbye.
Matt has pissing.
Also tell us about like any Flash game recommendations or memories. We would love to hear those.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah, and like Roy said, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.